She walked into the gym quietly, wearing an oversized hoodie and a nervous smile. No one paid much attention. Just another beginner, they thought. Some of the guys smirked when she bowed onto the mat, whispering that she looked too soft, too slow, maybe even too scared to handle a real roll. A few chuckles echoed when she fumbled with her white belt, tying it the wrong way. It was just another Jiu-Jitsu class on a regular Tuesday night, until it wasn't. What they didn't know was that this simple woman had a story, one that was written in sweat, discipline, and silent determination. For months, she'd been training in private, pushed by something deeper than pride. And tonight, fate had its eyes on her. When a visiting black belt offered to show her a few moves, no one expected anything unusual. Some even gathered to watch, expecting a quick tap out, maybe a humbling lesson. But what happened next left the entire gym frozen. In just 14 seconds, the room went from smug laughter to stunned silence. How did a woman, mocked for her appearance and doubted at every turn, manage to submit a black belt in front of everyone? What was her secret? And more importantly, was this just luck or something far more powerful? Stay with us. The real story is just beginning. No one really knew much about her. She kept to herself, showing up quietly, always the last one to leave. Some thought she was just trying to get in shape or maybe learning for self-defense. But those who watched closely noticed something different. How her eyes never left the instructor's every move, how her body moved a little smoother each time, like she was soaking in every detail. She wasn't flashy or loud, but there was a calm confidence building beneath the surface. The black belt she faced that night was a seasoned competitor, someone respected and a bit feared in the gym. He was known for his sharp technique and quick finishes. When he stepped onto the mat with her, many were already betting on how fast it would end. Yet, there was a flicker of curiosity, even from him. Maybe he sensed something unusual in her stance, something that didn't fit the simple beginner image. As they started, the air grew thick with anticipation. The other students quieted down, eyes locked on the unfolding battle. Every move she made was precise, almost rehearsed, but fluid. It was like watching someone read the black belt's mind, anticipating every grip, every shift of weight. And then, just as quickly as it began, the black belt's confident smirk vanished. But what exactly happened in those 14 seconds? And what did it mean for the woman who had been underestimated from day one? The answer is more surprising than anyone could have imagined. The moment the black belt tapped out, the room stayed silent. No cheers, no claps, just stunned faces trying to process what had just happened. The quiet wasn't awkward. It was heavy with disbelief. For weeks, some of the gym regulars had been quietly questioning if she was just lucky or if there was something more behind her calm demeanor. Now, after those 14 seconds, the question felt urgent. Some whispered maybe she had a background no one knew about, martial arts experience hidden beneath that simple exterior. Others thought it was pure grit and determination, the kind that can't be taught but earned through countless hours of hard work. But the black belt himself, the man she defeated, seemed different. His pride was bruised, sure, but there was something else in his eyes. Respect, maybe even a little fear. He didn't rush away or dismiss her like some would have. Instead, he stayed close, watching her as if trying to figure out what just happened. Meanwhile, others in the class felt torn. Some admired her for breaking the mold, but a few couldn't hide their frustration, almost as if they felt challenged or embarrassed by her sudden rise. The usual gym jokes stopped, replaced by a quiet tension that hadn't been there before. Was she going to shake up their entire group? Could this simple woman really change how everyone saw strength and skill in Jiu-Jitsu? As the evening wore on, the story inside the gym was far from settled. Whispers grew into questions. What did this mean for the black belt's status? For the woman who stunned them all? And what would happen the next time they faced off? The answer was still waiting, just out of reach. Days passed, but the energy in the gym didn't settle. Every class seemed charged with an unspoken question. Would the woman who had quietly shocked everyone rise again, or was that moment just a lucky strike? The black belt, usually confident and steady, now moved with a bit of caution. When their eyes met across the mat, there was a silent challenge lingering in the air, something neither of them dared to speak aloud yet. The woman herself felt the weight of those glances, the whispers and the doubt. She wasn't used to being the center of attention, especially not in a place where strength and skill were measured by how fast you could submit your opponent. But there was fire inside her now, a drive fueled by every scoff she'd ever heard, every time someone dismissed her as just a beginner or too simple. This wasn't about proving them wrong anymore. It was about proving to herself that she belonged here. Rumors spread about her training outside of class, about early mornings and late nights spent perfecting moves no one else knew she had. The black belt began to prepare too, tightening his game, knowing the next encounter wouldn't be easy. Their next role wasn't just about skill, it was about pride, respect, and maybe something deeper, a battle to redefine who could stand at the top. The gym held its breath, waiting for that next moment. The question wasn't just who would win, but how far would each of them go to protect their place. The tension was thick, and the showdown was coming soon. Just when it seemed like the tension between them was about to reach a breaking point, something unexpected happened. The woman received an invitation, an offer to train with a renowned coach known for shaping some of the toughest competitors in the sport. It wasn't just a chance to improve, it was an opportunity that could change everything. But accepting it meant stepping out of her comfort zone, leaving the gym where she had quietly built her foundation and faced constant doubt. Meanwhile, the black belt wasn't idle either. Word got out that he was preparing for a major upcoming tournament, a chance to reclaim his reputation and prove that his loss was just a fluke. But whispers around the gym hinted at something else. Injury rumors that no one knew if he was fully recovering from. The stakes were rising fast, and the rivalry was no longer just about pride. It was about who would come back stronger from the setbacks that life had thrown their way. The gym was buzzing. People were taking sides, wondering if the woman's sudden rise was a threat to the established order or a new chapter in the sport's story. Could she really go from underestimated beginner to unstoppable force? And would the black belt's comeback be enough to stop her? The next few weeks promised to be a whirlwind of training, tension, and tests unlike anything they'd faced before. What happened next would change the course of their journeys, and no one could predict how. The day of the tournament finally arrived, and the gym was buzzing with anticipation. The woman, now stronger and sharper after weeks of intense training, stepped onto the mat with a calm focus. The black belt was there too, moving carefully but with a fire in his eyes that showed he was ready to fight for more than just a title. The air was thick with tension. This was more than a match. It was a test of everything they had both been through. As the match started, they moved like two storms colliding, fast, precise, and unpredictable. The black belt tried to control the pace, relying on experience and technique, but the woman stayed one step ahead, reading his moves like a book. Every time he thought he had the advantage, she found a way to slip free and counterattack. The crowd was on edge, watching every twist and turn, breaths held tight. Then, in a moment that seemed to freeze time, the woman locked in a submission hold, the same one that had stunned the gym weeks ago. The black belt struggled, surprised by how quickly she had evolved. After a tense few seconds, he tapped out, surrendering the match. The gym erupted, but the woman's eyes weren't on the crowd. They were searching his face, looking for something beyond victory. And just when everyone thought the story had reached its peak, the black belt smiled and stood, offering his hand, not just in respect, but with a secret. He revealed that the loss had been part of a bigger plan all along, a way to push her to the next level, to test her resolve, and to pass on the torch to someone who had earned it. The real lesson wasn't just about winning or losing. It was about knowing when to fight and when to let go. The woman shook his hand, a mix of surprise and understanding washing over her. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning of a new journey neither of them had expected. After the match, the atmosphere in the gym shifted completely. What had started as skepticism and doubt transformed into respect and inspiration. The woman who was once quietly ridiculed had earned her place, not just by submitting a black belt in 14 seconds, but by showing what true dedication looks like. Her journey wasn't about flashy moves or quick wins. It was about patience, hard work, and believing in herself even when no one else did. After the match, the atmosphere in the gym shifted completely. What had started as skepticism and doubt transformed into respect and inspiration. The woman who was once quietly ridiculed had earned her place, not just by submitting a black belt in 14 seconds, but by showing what true dedication looks like. Her journey wasn't about flashy moves or quick wins. It was about patience, hard work, and believing in herself even when no one else did. The black belt's gesture of passing the torch spoke volumes. It wasn't about defeat, but about growth, both for him and for her. He had seen her potential from the start and knew that true strength comes from pushing past limits and embracing challenges. Their story became a powerful reminder that in Jiu-Jitsu and in life, respect is earned through perseverance, humility, and heart. For everyone watching, a lesson was clear. Never judge someone by their appearance or how simple they seem. Sometimes, the quietest person in the room is the one who will change the game. And for the woman, this was just the beginning. New challenges and opportunities awaited, but now she faced them with the confidence of someone who had already proven herself when it mattered most.